doesn't know the difference between different types of beans. Woo! Ah, no. Pause. Pause. Hey guys, it's Amy with Work Hard Eat Kind, and today I'm actually going to be making some chili. I woke up this morning not feeling very good. I didn't sleep very well last night, and I was talking to a friend and I was like, I really don't feel good. I think I'm getting sick. I don't know what to do. And of course they replied, medicine, soup, water, sleep. Okay. Soup was what caught my attention, and that should show you the kind of foodie I am. And I was like, okay, what kind of soup? And I basically came to the conclusion, I'm not a fan of soup. I'm not a fan of the texture of soup. So I'm going to make chili. It's really cold in Arkansas. It seems like during winter, or at least the time frame which we call winter, it was nice and warm and spring-like. And now that it's spring, it's cold, like winter. It's crazy here in Arkansas. I hope that the weather where you're at is a little bit nicer. I hope you enjoy this recipe. If you try it out, I want you to leave me a comment in the comment section below. And I actually have a big announcement. I actually finally paid for my domain name, and we've got the blog going, and I'm really excited for you guys to see that. So I hope you'll go check it out in the comment section below, or I'll write the web address on the screen right here for you. I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. To start off with, I'm actually going to use my handy mandolin. This has easily become one of my favorite tools in the kitchen. I asked for it for Christmas and I was lucky enough to get it, but I find that I'm constantly trying to find a new way to use it. It's absolutely so handy and so fast. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to set it up. You set it to how thick you want them. I think I'm going to have these, a little thicker. Now what I want to do today, as I'm kind of thinking this through and kind of making this recipe up as I go, I want something very oniony. I want some caramelized onions. But here's the thing, caramelized onions can take a long time. It's a little time consuming, plus you need a lot of onions to be able to do that. Well, I'm going to be using my handy dandy Cuisinart pressure cooker. If you don't know what a pressure cooker is, it basically pressurizes the contents of its container and it cooks faster. I don't know exactly how it works, all I know is it does work and it's amazing. This is actually a handy trick that I've picked up on that I'll show you guys. If you're having trouble getting your onion skin off, you can take your knife carefully and you can actually kind of scrape it like this, and it'll help get it started. Please make sure that if you use a mandolin, please use the guard. I don't want any comments about you losing a finger because you decided not to listen to me. This is something pretty important to me, that you guys are safe in the kitchen, so please make sure that you take care and you're mindful when using a mandolin or any sharp object, really. And as Hannah Hart always reminds us, don't use sharp things while you're drinking. Extra dangerous. If you get a big hunkin' piece like this, don't be afraid to just take your knife on the side, cut it up real good. No big deal. Because honestly, we really don't need to waste it. But as you can see, that's how fast it is to use a mandolin. Those were two large, very large, yellow onions. And basically, that's the hardest part of this recipe, I'm hoping. I'm gonna scoop that back over. I'm gonna pull this down. Now, you can use an Instapot, you can use whatever pressure cooker you have. A lot of people like to push the Instapot. I think they sponsor a lot of blogs, but frankly, use whatever you've got. Even if you have a stovetop one and an electric one, it doesn't matter. You can do this however you want. I am going to, on mine, set mine to saute by pressing the menu button until it gets to saute and then hit the start button. I'm also going to add some olive oil. I have my salt grinder. And we will also need some sugar. I'm pretty sure I've used various kinds of sugar, but honestly, the plain white table sugar is the one that works the best in my experience. But feel free to use whatever you've got. Okay, the most important thing when you're trying to get some onions cooked, you have to make sure that it's hot enough. The great thing about this is it's a one pot thing. You can do everything in here. I am going to take one piece of onion, and I know you probably can't really hear it or see it, but it is sizzling. So I'm going to start adding in all the onions. May seem like an excessive amount of onions, but the truth of the matter is they will shrink down as they cook. But that's what I was if you don't like onions, why? Like, why don't you like onions? I think they're honestly my favorite vegetable. If you have a few that you see need some help, a little help coming apart, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna grab a spoon. And we're gonna stir them around and try to get all of the olive oil to kind of coat all of the onions. If you don't like oil, I've noticed that this is something that's become kind of a trend in the vegan community of not eating any oil. I think healthy fats are important. You know, your body needs some fat in order to process its vitamins. And I think that, you know, a little bit in moderation, and as long as you're not overheating them, it is a good thing. But you could probably use water to steam these, but I'm not sure exactly how they would taste if you caramelized them. If you know, if you've tried it, let me know. Once you've got everything caramelized, we're going to take our salt grinder, or you could take some just regular salt, and we're going to try to get a good coating over all of the onions. What I like to do is I'll add some, and then I'll stir it, and then I'll add some more. As you can see, they're already starting to cook. That means we got it at a great temperature. We're going to let these actually wilt just a little bit more, and then we're going to add the sugar. When you see that they're becoming a little more translucent, I'm going to add a little bit of sugar to this. Now, it'll depend on how many onions you use, but I'd say that's probably about close to a tablespoon. And I'm going to sprinkle it all over. Actually, why not? I'm going to do about a tablespoon and a half. And now we're going to stir that in. You can actually tell that the onions have actually reduced by about half. You want to actually keep a close eye on this. You don't want burned onions. You want caramelized onions. So I actually keep a close watch on it, and I don't like to walk away from it unless I absolutely have to. They're really starting to wilt right now, and they're looking so much better. They actually smell amazing. While we're waiting, I'm actually going to start opening all of the cans. I did hear a great tip from, I believe it was John Venus, who said to make sure if you use canned beans, to make sure that you rinse them until there's no more bubbles. And that will actually help reduce how much gas you have. Let's just say it, okay? We all know what happens. The beans that I'm going to be using for this recipe are organic black beans, red kidney beans, and Great Northern beans. I think it makes a really great color combination. It makes it appealing to the eye, but it also tastes really good. And they all have slightly different textures, and I'm a huge fan of varying textures. Okay, I swear, this says Great Northern beans, but look at this. That's a garbanzo bean. Like, what the hell? Let's see if the other one's like this. Yeah, it even tastes like a garbanzo bean. That is not a Great Northern bean. Yeah, they both say Great Northern beans. But this one came out of one can, and this came out of the other. This is obviously a Great Northern bean. Woo, what happened? Nobody's slapping on their dog. Alright, thus we digress and continue. Don't get so busy that you forget about those onions, though. They have probably reduced by 3/4. They're looking really great. You can also see that they're starting to turn slightly golden. This is great. Okay, honestly, I think what I was going to put 3 cans because I thought these seemed awful small, but I think I'm going to stick with just the other 3 instead of 6. We'll see how it goes. You can really gauge how good these are going by how they smell. You can finally start to smell that caramelized smell. You can also begin to start seeing that they're really, really soft and they're turning slightly brown on the edges. Yeah, I think we're finally getting there. That's starting to look really, really good. Now, what else are we going to need for this while we're waiting? So, I told you that we're using 4 types of beans since that one can ended up being garbanzo beans. We're going to use some vegetable stock. You can use whatever brand you can find. This is just what's in my local store next door. I am going to deglaze this with some beer. Who's surprised? I've used beer like the last 3 times since I found this. Of course, salt. I love pepper, so of course I'm going to use some pepper. If you had some onion powder, you could add it, but we're using a ton of onions. I don't think it's necessary. You could add some chili flavoring, like one of the packets. I actually react to cumin, paprika, and a lot of the spices that are in those things, so I keep mine rather simple, and I just rely on good flavor from onions and other things like that to be able to make up for it, and of course toppings. And I'm also going to be using garlic powder instead of regular garlic. I normally always go for fresh garlic because I always think fresh is best. But the problem is I feel like this is just the right taste I'm going for in a chili. I know they taste similar, but they're not exactly the same, and I think this is what I'm looking for. You can use whatever you want, of course. And as always, you know I'm encouraging you to take this recipe. It's a guideline, not a rule. Please play with it, add what you like, take out what you don't like. Feel free to experiment, and that's my biggest and #1 thing that if I can teach you anything is to play with your food, play with your recipes, and definitely give different things a try. If you want to add those flavor packets, go ahead. If you don't like onions, don't add onions. If you just want some Wolf brand chili in a can, go for it. Go on with your bad self. Caramelizing onions is it's a very long and tedious task. You do have to pay attention to it. You do have to stir it and be mindful of it. And it could take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes to be able to do it, depending on how hot you're cooking. I totally suggest taking it easy the first few times, making sure you've got your way to do it down. Just be patient with it, And I'm telling you, if you're a fan of caramelized onions like I am, it will be worth it. While we're waiting, it's always a good time to check Instagram. It's become one of my favorite social media platforms lately. And I like sharing the people that I follow. Last time I shared Timothy from Mississippi Vegan and Avant-Garde Vegan, who also has come out with some new YouTube videos, so go check those out. I'm also following Vegan Fat Kid.
Now maybe you just sat down for breakfast and you are making choices based on what you eat out of it. So for instance, I want to stop a day with a bunch of protein, I just eat everything. And you reach for it.
He's really smart. I think he's very educated on fitness and nutrition. I'm not necessarily sure that he's actually a bodybuilder, but he does work out and he is plant-based and he knows all about trying to get enough protein, and that's something I've been learning, and that's something I've been seeking out. So I've been following him, John Venus, other bodybuilders that are in the vegan community. I love to find somebody who's female that does this though. Is there anybody out there that is on that athletic level that is higher protein that's female? If you know who they are, make sure to leave me a comment because I'd love to support them in any way I can. Hey guys, it's Amy with Work Hard, Eat Kind. I'm going to go ahead and get started just because I know that we don't have a lot of people and it's in the middle of the day, so you can come back and watch this video later. I'm going to add some garlic powder. This is what we're looking for. We are about ready to deglaze this with some beer. All that means, I'm just going to pour some right in. There we go. Woo, the smell, it smells so good. Remember that we rinsed them before we put them in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually stir this up first before we add. I don't like just throwing ingredients in miscellaneously and without purpose. I want to kind of try to get some of that flavor into the beans before we add the chicken stock. Or sorry, chicken stock, the vegan channel. I mean veggie stock. Promise. Vegetable stock. I guess if you're one of our friends that's just plant-based or not vegan, really can use whatever you want. This is not a place where I judge people for their food choices. I just like sharing recipes. You can see how I've stirred this all together, trying to get everything mixed in together. Now we're going to add just a little bit of veg stock. I don't want it to be a lot. Like, I really don't want it to be soupy, but it does have to be enough that it doesn't burn. I'd say that was probably about half of this container, so that would be about 16 ounces. Or 2 cups. Doesn't that already look beautiful? Okay, next what we're going to do is I'm going to switch the setting. The browning feature is much hotter and it will bring this up to a boil. I totally recommend bringing everything back up to a boil before you put the lid on. It will actually pressurize faster. That way you have a more accurate temperature. Just make sure you continually stir and don't let it stick to the bottom. Alright, this has come up to a really good boil. I'm going to stir it one more time. I'm going to make sure all that goodness gets off the spoon and into the bowl. We are going to lock it. We are going to make sure our pressure valve is in the right spot. We are going to cancel that browning and go to high pressure. And I think I'm going to start with 15 minutes and then go from there. And I always recommend to please know how your machine works, read the instruction booklets so you can be safe and make sure that this pressure valve is working properly. You don't want to burn yourself. It has beeped and has said it is ready. You can see it has switched to the keep warm setting. I'm going to take a utensil and release the pressure. Now you can let it actually naturally do this, not a big deal. Just make sure you keep your hands back and don't burn yourself. Alright, that little click means it is depressurized and we can open it. Set the lid off to the side and oh wow, it smells really good. The only thing left to do is to check it, see if the beans are done. I'm going to try to pull a few of all of it out and get some of the sauce. Oh my god! Oh, wow. I really don't like mushy beans, so I like that they're still a little. The kidney beans are done, the black beans are done, but I think because garbanzo beans are a harder bean, it actually adds a good texture. And I'm so excited about this. I'm not even sure I'm going to add any of the toppings to it. I do want to talk about the crackers that I bought. I absolutely love these Townhouse crackers. And you look at them and you think, it says butter, so surely it's not vegan. And then you turn over and you look at the label, it does not have an allergen warning for milk. And you look at the ingredients, there's no whey, there's no anything. So these are actually vegan. So I think that's pretty great that they're accidentally vegan, and I think they'll taste great with this. Oh yeah, oh, this is great. You guys know that I am a huge proponent, if I haven't said it enough times, to make this your own. I am going to crumble up some crackers. Oh yeah. I love toppings. That's the thing, is with chili, I really don't think you can have enough toppings. Some people think I'm crazy, but the more the merrier when it comes to toppings. I have some homemade vegan cheese. This is the nacho cheese from Hot for Food. I will link the recipe in the description box below if you'd like to make it. The cashew sour cream is also from Hot for Food. If you didn't realize, I'm still really obsessed with all of their recipes. I love making everything from scratch, and I love anything that's whole foods that are a lot healthier for you than the store-bought stuff. I'm gonna add some ketchup, some green onions. Ah, it's gonna be great. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Oh my god. Honestly, it doesn't really need the chili flavoring packets. This is so good. Oh my gosh, this tastes like childhood. gosh, guys. I'm just gonna be honest. I have already uploaded the footage that I shot before this because I'm so excited to get this up to you guys. I hope you're as excited as I am. I'm gonna leave a link in the description box below to the recipe. I hope you'll go check it out. Don't forget, you can also follow me on all the different social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. I'm gonna encourage you to go work hard and eat kind, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.